Savage Raven has a brand new split protective grip that fixes most of the complaints of its predecessors, but doesn't add any new problems into the equation. What's up, guys? My name is Uncle G. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time, make sure to leave a like and subscribe on this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to click the notification bell to know when we go live on the channel. Today, we are going to be talking about this Savage Raven Fission Grip. This is their newest line of grips in their huge lineup of grips that allows you to split the Joy-Con straight off of the Switch 2 unit. This fixes a lot of complaints that people have had about the Neo grip. I'm going to give you guys the scope of what I feel about this thing. We're going to compare it to a bunch of other grips. Let's get right into it. Let's start by showing you what came with this kit. So the first thing is this guy right here. This is the Savage Raven Max Carry Case. I've been on record that this is the best Max Carry Case on the market of any brand. I love this thing. It fits a different variety of sizes of grips from Savage Raven as well as other companies as well. So again, I really do like this travel case. This is my preferred way to carry my Switch grip. I don't like the cover alternatives. I really do like these cloth carry cases. Of course, they're hard to shell as well. But yeah, this is not going to be part of this review. I have a review on this case already on the channel. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. We're going to be talking about this setup right here. So we have the two split protective grips you see right here, and then we have this shell piece that protects the back. Now, before we start, I'm going to let you guys know off the top, this case is dockable. This is a nice, thin piece of plastic that it goes in the back of your Switch. And let's start by installing all of this right here. So it's really simple to install. You gotta get the top in first, as so. And then the bottom kind of clips in, and you're done, just like that. It's already clipped in. Make sure you put some nice pressure down just to double check and make sure that it's as secure as it can get. So we got that on, and the next thing is going to be obviously these split protection grips. So the way you get these installed, the way that I figured out how to do it is, I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but the way that I figured out how to do it is just take it from the top and slide right down. If you take it from the top and slide right down, that you hear a little audible click. It's not like a tactile click, it's just like a oop. You clicked right in to know that it's secured in there. Let's get the other side in as well. You can see these are super easy to get in, just like that. And to take it out, the way, again, it's probably a better way to do this, but the way I figure out how to take this out is just like this. You just kind of pull from this section right here. There's this like brace piece, and we're going to dive into all the features of this thing in a minute, so don't you worry. I'll tell you what this thing's all about. But you just kind of pull away with this thing, and that's it. You take it on and off. So it's actually super easy. This is the easiest one to get on and off that I've experienced, and I've experienced quite a bit of these split protective grips for the Switch 2. Yeah, this is super easy. Now, these grips on the back here are the ones from the Tetris Special Edition. Obviously, this is not the ones that are going to come with it. The ones that are come with it, I'll show you right now. Here it is. It does not come in a great value bag, nor does it come with this many grips. This is just all the ones that I have accrued from Savage Raven over the years, from the Switch 1 and Switch 2, and I've actually given some away as well. So there's actually more I've gotten. But the ones you're going to want to focus on for this, these are the ones it comes with. It comes with these black ones. We'll get them out of the package in a second. Or I'll just show you really quickly because it applies the same way. They're all the same sizes, of course. You got the blue and red colors right here. You can order this thing with the blue and the red, as you can see right here. Or you can order it, probably the more likely one you'll probably want to get is this black one. I really like the way this black one looks and feels. I have, since reviewing my Neo grip with the Tetris grips, I have found that these are the texture on these isn't perfect. Is this upside down? Okay, that's better. Right, the texture on these, the glossy ones is not my favorite. I don't love the glossy texture, not because it's bad necessarily, but once you feel the texture of their other colors, the non-transparent ones, you can just see it has this like dot matrix pattern that is lacking on this Tetris one, but as well the dot matrix texture, but the feel of the plastic. This plastic is a very matte plastic, obviously reduces shine, but also means that you and your juicy finger oils are going to get all over this thing, and it's not going to affect the way that it feels for a while. Of course, after a long time, your finger oils will get inside of this plastic and make it a little bit more glossy. But in terms of gripability, this is it's not nearly as slippery as this one is. This one's very slippery, as well as interesting thing I've noted, the heat from these grips kind of gather heat. I don't know if it's because of these foam, you know, Tetris pieces on the inside here or what, but I feel that these actually stay cooler during gaming sessions. I don't have particularly hot hands, I don't think, but you know, maybe I do. Maybe I'm discovering something now. But yeah, these things feel really good, and these are the ones we'll be focusing on. But I'm going to keep these on the grip for, you know, visual sake throughout the video. But just know that when you order this thing, you're going to be getting the black ones or the orange and blue ones. The price on its own is going to be $32.99 from Savage Raven's website, or you can get this with the bundled with this max carry case for $52.99. And I will say right now, you can get this package 10% off with my code UncleJeeb on the screen. So make sure you use my code UncleJeeb, and I use the link in the description. It supports the channel, but also you get 10% off your order from Savage Raven's website. Make sure to do that. You get a good bit of money off of either the big package here or the Fission Grip on its own. So let's get into the positives of this case. Obviously, there's going to be some protection involved in this back piece. It's not going to be super protective. If you drop this thing, it's likely going to break the case, not your Switch, unless you drop it really hard, and you'll probably break both. Another advantage of this thing, of course, is the split protective nature of it. It's really nice to be able to split your Joy-Cons off into two. If you have one of those accessories that I have as well, you can stick these onto like a Joy-Con grip and use these as a controller with with these grips installed. It's really solid. This is a really nice option for those who like that split protective feature, as well as if you like to use mouse when you're Switch too. This is going to be really nice to, if you're playing theoretically right here, and all of a sudden, boop, you take off the Joy-Con and you're playing in mouse mode with a nice big fat grip. And I think one of the biggest pluses for this thing is going to be the price. Again, like I mentioned already, this is about 33 bucks. This is super affordable. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones in the market, just by a little bit for the other comparable options, or a lot more than like some of the cheaper, crappier options. But you're not getting crap with this thing. You're getting a really nice product for your 33 bucks. And of course, I highly recommend to get the bundle with this guy. This is super worth it. You can get a separate piece that just clamps onto the front, similar to what Jsaux offers. Savage Raven does offer like their plastic front piece as well. Savage Raven has done something that I've not seen done with these split protective grips before this generation. They've done the brace right here. This is like a little brace, as you can see. It kind of literally does what I'm saying, what its namesake does. It braces on the side or the back of your Switch 2. So when you're holding it like this, you have some more stability. In my experience, these braces don't do very much. I feel like they're actually a little bit flawed in their design, because I found that they actually, just similar to a complaint I've had with other grips in the past, they kind of do cover the inside of the Joy-Con, so like that way it removes that gap that is necessary to be able to have that air gap, so they fall right off. I have found in recent days that it's actually more of a me problem than an everybody problem. The issue of the Joy-Con falling off just like this is more of a me problem than everybody else. It's my Joy-Con. I found that if I use my fiance's Joy-Con, they don't do it as often, so it's not as big of a deal as I thought. However, it doesn't change the fact that air gap is removed with the design of these Joy-Con, and that is a bad thing. That air gap needs to be not filled for it to work properly. However, it's not going to affect everybody, so I'm going to just not focus on that very much. But the design choice of having these here braces is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think I would have preferred them just to go the route that Jsaux went, which is just a really grippy form-fitting material on the inside. Let's compare the two back pieces from Jsaux and Savage Raven, as they're the most similar, as well as similar in function and price. The Savage Raven one and Jsaux, they're about identical. I would say the Jsaux one is a bit more thick, but really not. They're both dockable. They both do the same thing. The only thing I think is a little different is the Jsaux one might be designed a little bit better in my opinion, but that it's really a hit or miss situation. I have a couple of these Jsaux, and one functions better than the other, so I can't say for sure that this is a better one than this one. The one that I have from Savage Raven, it doesn't really work all that well, and I'll explain what I'm talking about here. So as we put on the back piece here, you can see it's really easy for me to flip off this bottom portion. It's really, no matter what I do, no matter how much I try to clamp this thing on to the bottom, it's just so easy. The easiest one I've experienced so far, in fact. It just pops right off. I don't know if it's a me problem, my unit, or not, but it just doesn't work as well, and I ended up just taking it off entirely and using it more like this which is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. I actually prefer the way it looks, in fact, and feels. It makes it just a little bit lighter to hold as well in use. But yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. It's not ideal to spend money on something like this and then just toss it to the side. I'd prefer to use it. But again, that's not necessarily any better here in the Jsaux version. In fact, if I had to choose one or the other, it'd probably be this one because it looks a little nicer. I don't really like this like diamond pattern. It's not bad by any means, don't get me wrong, but I prefer just the simple look in the back here. On the back here, you can see on the right Joy-Con here, I have the Jsaux grip and I have the Fission on the left. And as you can see, they're very different looks, very different ergonomics. And in fact, the Savage Raven I did not even mention. I think I did earlier, but you can change the sizes and colors of these grips. That's like the biggest difference between these two in terms of functionality. But the ergonomics I think are also a toss-up. I really like the ergonomics of the Jsaux. I have no complaints about the way this feels or looks. It's very nice. And the ergonomics of the Savage Fission Grip is going to be a bit better because you can change it the way you like. You can change it to the bulbous one. You can change it to the trigger style grip that I have here. The bulbous one is similar to the Jsaux one. I think the biggest difference is going to be the way that this thing feels in hand on the grip. There's nothing I can really do on camera to show you that. It's more just going to be me explaining to you that the Fission Grip is really, really wiggly. It's not unideally wiggly. There's no really, both of them wiggle. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the Savage or the Jsaux doesn't wiggle at all. It certainly wiggles. It wiggles from the Joy-Con point. Yes, they both do that. But where this one, does better than the Fission Grip, the Fission Grip wiggles from like 3 different spots. It wiggles from this point of contact with the switch. It wiggles from the connection point of this back grip to the actual Fission Grip itself that touches your Joy-Con, and it wiggles from this piece that touches your Joy-Con on your Switch. It wiggles from all 3 places, and I feel all 3 wiggling at the same time. And when you double that from the right and left side, the whole thing just feels like it's wiggling all around your hand. I can't stand that. It drove me nuts during testing, and maybe just kind of take it off my Switch entirely because I just kind of got tired of the feeling of all 3 wiggle points at once. I just can't do it. It doesn't mean this is a bad product. I could just have a weird unit. I don't know for sure. My buddy Drip from Drip Media Gaming loves this thing, and he did not talk about wiggle at all. He thought it was very firm. So I'm not going to say he's wrong because that's his experience. My experience is that this is super duper wiggly. I mean, so much so that I just don't want to use it. So final thoughts on this one before we leave. I just want to say that I think it's a me problem. I'm not the biggest fan of these split protective grips. Now I am. But the way that so far in this generation, 1 year in the Switch 2, I have yet to find one that's perfect. Everyone has been almost perfect, but had a major flaw, or almost perfect and just a few flaws. But either way, none of them have been for me entirely. I always go back to my Satisfied grip. I just love the way that one feels. It's dockable. I mean, it really has no issues at all that I can see, but it doesn't split. So like, I still really love the split protective grips. It's really nice to be able to have these. Of course, I have them in my house here. I can always pop off Satisfy and pop one of these on. But yeah, just last thoughts here. I just wish they did a little bit better job implementing it. Knowing Savage Raven, they're probably going to release another version of this in the somewhat near future, kind of fixing some issues. Tightening up manufacturing so maybe it doesn't wiggle as much. But for now, as it is, I have a hard time recommending this one over the Jsaux grip, but it doesn't take anything away from this one. It's a similar price. It has this added functionality. So I would say if you value this, the fact that you can take these off and change the grip styles, I would get it. Even with my complaints, I would still get this one over it because you could change the size of the grips. For me, the Jsaux one is a perfect size grip. It's not too big, it's not too small. I like the way it feels in my hand. So for me, I'd be buying that one. But if it was you at home and you really value this, which a lot of people do, I would go with this one. But Savage Raven has a different product altogether that I'm going to show you right now. This, as you can see on the back here, is the grip case. Now, this is not a split protective grip. You can see I cannot press the button and remove the Joy-Con outside of this grip. But what it is a one-piece grip that has all the same functionality in terms of the removable back pieces that the Fission Grip has, but with stability I mean, this thing is super solid. In fact, this is a part 1 review because we're going to move on to the part 2 in a different video. So I'm going to link it at the end of the video here, where we're going to talk about this grip case that I really love from Savage Raven. I actually was blown away in how much I love this thing. We're going to get to this in the next video, but for now, now we're going to transition over to the part 2 of this review, which can be the next video, where it's the grip case. It's really similar to this one, but just a little bit different, and we're going to get to it. It's very same, but very different. But thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next one.